Hi, this is Dawn, and I'm back with another episode of my Big 3-0 craft show where I'm celebrating 30 years in paper crafting by looking back at past projects and updating them with new products and a new little twist on it. And so today I'm doing what I call a bag topper, goodie bag topper. So you have like a bag like this, you put items in it, and then you put a little topper on top. And my twist today is I'm using the Celebratory Sips and the Cheers to You. So the Celebratory Sips paper and the Cheers to You stamp set. And I'm doing like these little fancy waters. I love these. Like at Disneyland, they have these waters where they have like our lemonades and they have little candies in them and syrup in them. And so, you know, to feel fancy, we do it at home. I even made it with my granddaughter. It was super fun. So on the back, I have a little recipe here where your base recipe is just your drink packet of choice, your water and your ice. But your optional mix-ins, you can like add flavored syrup, sour candy, or you can even make it fizzy with using soda water. So what I'm using today is the Celebratory Sips paper. Here is a half pack of the paper that shows the different patterns on there. And this is the pattern we're using today, but you can see you get a lot of different patterns. And here's the back sides of them. And this piece right here like surprised me the most. I love that flour mixed in with all these others. And you know, I don't even drink, but they're lots of fun to have the little fancy waters and make life a little fun. So I'm going to show you how to make it. Now my bag here is about 4.5 inches. Yeah, it's a little over 4.5 inches wide. And so I cut my paper to 4.5 by 5. So that way when I fold it in half, I end up with a 2.5 inch banner here. So I always have to double check it and make sure I have it the right way. And it is the 5-inch way. So I would want to go like this and fold it in half. And the cool thing with our cardstock is that it's two-toned. So you can decide which side you want to face out. So I happen to like this combo. But if I wanted to, I could fold it the other way and then it would look a little bit lighter. So I'm going to do it this way. It doesn't take very much paper to do this. These are great little goodies to pass out at work or to use as a party, or I use them at retreats to give out gifts. And so then you can just assemble it with whatever glue that you have. I'm looking to see, I forgot to get my glue out. So just add this on here. So this is a 2x4, so you can get quite a few out of one sheet of paper. So it's a pretty economical way to add a little fun and dress up a little gift at a party. So we'll add that on here. And then I pre-cut some elements from the paper. One of the papers had it, and I always put them in like these little containers here, these little envelopes, so I can pre-cut them when I'm sitting around watching TV. And then they're here and they're ready to go when I want to craft with them. And then on my sample, I use this Cheers to You stamp set. So you can see I stamped this, and then here's another one I did. On this one, I just added the stitchy lines. But I'm going to show you a fun stamp set that we have. It's called More Messages, and I didn't know it until I got it, that it's all one giant stamp. So you ink it all up and you stamp it once, and then it has a die that goes with it where you can cut them all out at once. And also you can then stick them in here. It's called More Messages, and then you have them in here, and so you can pick out one that goes with whatever you're doing. And there was a Celebrate one here, but I think I've moved it around enough times. But we can do congratulations. Oh, here's a time to celebrate. I don't know if that will match. Works for me. The colors are in that same color palette because that color's in the paper. So I can use dimensionals and pop up the drink cup here. Add a little dimension to it. I love dimensionals. I think that's one of my favorite things when I switched over to Stampin' Up! After Close to My Heart closed, is the dimensionals. They're just so easy to use. My scissors don't get sticky. I don't have to cut them. They're ready to go. And then I can just add this saying on here. I don't need much glue. Oftentimes when I put it in the middle, of my piece, I kind of, when I go to put it down, I kind of wiggle it a little bit, and that spreads that glue out. And then we have our time to celebrate. Now on this one, I'm going to put, you'll notice on this other one, I put cardstock on the back of it. So it was also 4.5 by 5. And then this was also 4.5 by 5. And it just makes it nice and sturdy. It depends on what you're doing with it. But here are a couple of my tips about this. So first of all, I put the opening at the bottom. And I used to put it at the top, but then people don't like to tear it apart and they don't want to mess up the cute thing that you gave them. So now I put these at the top, at the bottom, the sealed edge, and I put the opening on the bottom. I know that's silly, but that's what I do. So I already have my recipe in there. And then this time I got these are all from Dollar Tree, Margaritaville, Caribbean Fruit Punch, and Strawberry Daiquiri. And I'm gonna slip a couple of these in there. And then I couldn't find any mini packs. So like on this one, I have the Tajin because it had mango, and mango and Tajin is really good together. So the Tajin Gummy Bears. But this one, I couldn't find small packages. So I could only find larger packages like this. I'm sure they exist, but in my hunt, I couldn't find them. So I just put some of the candies in there. These are going to people that won't mind that I repackaged them for them, and put some strawberries in there. And then I'll seal it up. Give it a little wiggle room so it can drop down a little in the bag so that you can staple this at the top. And so I would just kind of put it up here, put the staples, avoiding the paper, and then it'll settle down. So it's just a little bit wigglier. I don't even know if that's more wiggly. Don't watch my grammar. I make up words all the time. So just put a couple of staples here. And it's good to go. So you can see this is stiffer. So there's just two different looks. It just depends on what you have available and the look that you're going for. And then the back both have the fancy waters on it. And then just to show you, here's my fancy water. I use the strawberry daiquiri and ice and water. And then I've got a few of the little strawberry candies in there. And it's absolutely wonderful on this hot day. I hope you enjoy this updated version of the little bag toppers, and that you find a way to use them to share some joy with people you love.